Namaste everyone. Namaste everyone.
Namaste.
Just 1 second.
Namaste, Kumar. Namaste, Kumar. Namaste,
Welcome back,
Akka.
Meena. Welcome
Namaste,
back.
Meena. Welcome back. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Namaste.
Let's start with
Alright.
3 poems as usual. Please take a deep breath. Prabhatam. Namaste, Namo Namaha. So Kranti is here. So I will hand it over to Kranti. Go ahead, Kranti. Thank you.
Yeah. Good morning.
Morning.
Om Yogena Chittasya Padena Vacham Malam Sharirasya Cha Vaidyakena Yopakarottam Pravaram Muninam Patanjalim Pranjaliranatosmi Abahu Purushakaram Shankhachakrasiddharinam Sahasrashirasam Shvetam Pranamami Patanjalim Shrimate Anantaya Nagarajaya Namo Namaha Atha विभूतिपादः देशबन्धः चित्तस्य धारणा तत्र प्रत्ययैकता नता ध्यानं तदेव अर्थमात्रनिर्भासं स्वरूपशून्यमिव समाधिः त्रयमेकत्र संयमः तच्छयात् प्रज्ञालोकः तस्य भूमिषु विनियोगः त्रयमन्तरङ्गं पूर्वेभ्यः तदपि बहिरङ्गं निर्बीजस्य व्युत्थाननिरोधसंस्कारयोः अभिभवप्रादुर्भावौ निरोधक्षणचित्तान्वयो निरोधपरिणामः तस्य प्रशान्तवाहिता संस्कारात् सर्वार्थतैकाग्रतयोः क्षयोदयौ चित्तस्य समाधिपरिणामः ततः पुनः शान्तोदितौ तुल्यप्रत्ययौ चित्तस्य एकाग्रता परिणामः एतेन भूतेन्द्रियेषु धर्म लक्षण अवस्था परिणामाः व्याख्याताः शान्त उदित अव्यपदेश्य धर्मानुपाती धर्मी क्रमान्यत्वं परिणामान्यत्वे हेतुः परिणामत्रयसंयमात् अतीतानागतज्ञानम् शब्दार्थप्रत्ययानाम् इतरेतराध्यासात् संकरः तत्प्रविभागसंयमात् सर्वभूतऋतज्ञानम् संस्कारसाक्षात्करणात् पूर्वजाते ज्ञानम् प्रत्ययस्य परचित्तज्ञानम् न च तत्सालम्बनम् तस्याविषयी भूतत्वात् कायरूपसंयमात् तत्ग्राह्यशक्तिस्तम्भे चक्षुः प्रकाशासंप्रयोगे अन्तर्धानम् सोपक्रमं निरूपक्रमञ्च कर्म तत्संयमात् अपरान्तज्ञानम् अरिष्टेभ्यो वा.
Thank you, Purna. Thank you.
Thank you.
So let us think we left at 3:15 or 3:16 last class. But in any case, 3:15.
Yes, sir.
In any case, let's quickly go back.
Left at
And-
3:14, I think.
Any other guess?
I guess 3:15 only, sir.
Okay. Before we start, we do 3 ohms, and and I have mentioned many times that you must take 3 sankalpas for the 3 ohms. Does anybody remember? So Maunam means nobody is remembering.
I am a set of vibrations. First ohm,
First ohm,
set of vibrations.
who?
I am set of vibration.
Yeah, I'm a set of vibrations. So I transcend this physical body. That is important. I am not this physical body. That is the first sankalpa. I am not this physical body. I am much higher than that, which is I am vibrations. I am a set of vibrations. I am not this physical body. That also has to be there as part of that. I am not this gross body, which is what we are
I
associating
am not
ourselves.
this.
We are all the time associating
associating.
ourselves and others with the physical body. So I am not this physical body. I am much higher than this. Who am I?
I am a set of vibrations. I am not a physical body.
Who is that set of? What is the meaning? What is the word for that set of vibrations? Anybody?
Well, set of vibrations.
Huh? What is that equivalent for that? People forget everything. Huh? Let me stop. Yeah. Do you remember this model? Does everyone remember this?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Who are we? We are here, correct? We are that blue
Yeah.
thing, correct?
Yeah.
The gross body is this, correct?
Yes.
And the subtle body are the vibrations, subtle body vibrations. That's what the box itself says, correct?
Subtle body vibe.
Right? The subtle body, the Sukshma Sharira is that vibrations. So where did these vibrations come from?
The chitta.
The Chitta. Chitta is the set of vibrations. The Chitta, and then it has got all these kleshas, karmas, chitta vrittis, all these act as vibrations. So you must remember very well. And what is this gray chitta in zone B? In zone B. So if I am going to call this blue subtle body vibrations as the chitta, then what is this chitta?
Combination of C1 and C2.
Huh?
Combination of C1 and C2.
Combination of?
The body vibrations and body.
Yeah, that is upon death it will become one. Okay, I'll take that. So this is our original chitta. So a copy of, we have come here with a copy of that chitta. Who launched that chitta in the grey box?
Prakriti.
Prakriti launched. Through how did she launch?
She launched to
Yes.
Ishvara, Sattva Purusha.
Ishvara.
Ishvara.
No.
Indriyas.
The cosmic intelligence.
Cosmic
Of the
intelligence,
intelligence
Sattva
of the
Purusha.
Ishvara. Of the
The
Ishvara.
cosmic intelligence, Sattva Purusha, Ishvara is all the same. They are not different. Although we loosely say Prakriti.
The intent of the Ishvara too.
Although we loosely say Prakriti, normally we say that.
Indriyas.
What Indriyas?
Panchandriyas.
Panchandriyas, what happened to Panchandriyas?
Through that we get all these chittas things.
Now I'm saying, who launched your chitta?
Prakriti.
God Mother. Prakriti.
No, that is at a loose level we say. There is one more layer between the two. You can see it right in front of you. That box. Nobody is able to read it?
Cosmic chitta.
Program.
There is a cosmic
Chitta.
In Sankhya philosophy, this cosmic chitta is called Vasudeva. As I mentioned this in the class too.
Yes.
If you people don't go back, don't revise, don't do any study, this is the state you will be in. You will read all the names that are there in the PPT. If I ask a question, if I say no, this, you will read something else. So Prakriti launches the chitta, the various chittas, the individual chittas, through the cosmic chitta. Cosmic chitta is again a processor, just like our own chitta. Our own chitta is also just a processor. It has no bias. What causes the bias in us? Anybody?
And Dvesha.
Kleshas.
Klesha.
Klesha.
Kleshas. What else?
Karmas.
Karmas. What else? Vasana. So all put together, let us say samskaras.
Mhm.
So those are the ones which cause the bias in us. The chitta by itself is pure. Chitta is just a processor, like how we say Intel processor inside. I've said this many, many times in the class. Please digest what I say. If you don't understand, you must ask. These are all important concepts. This should never go away from your head. And you can retain it only if you constantly look at all these documents, read, do that swadhyaya. Looks like nobody's doing that swadhyaya. So that cosmic process, this is a software processor. This is not a hardware processor. This also I've explained in the class. This is a software processor. Just like if we have an Intel processor in the inside a laptop or inside a computer, or there is a processor inside your cell phone, the processor, that is why it is called as processor. It just gets the input, various inputs it gets, and whatever inputs it gets and whatever program is there, based on that program, it will provide the output. The processor has no bias on its own. Is this clear to everyone?
Yes.
If it is not clear, you must question, you must ask. What is not clear, I will explain. If we are 6 months into the class and we are still not clear about chitta, that shows I am not doing a good job. It reflects poorly on my presentation skills. Any questions on this? And every chitta has two connections. One is connection to Prakriti, and the other connection is
To the copy of the chitta. To its copy.
through the copy only we get connection to the Prakriti. There are two connections that we have. Just think, when you are born and as a child you are raised, don't you have two connections? Two main connections.
Ishvara. Prakriti and Ishvara.
You have connection to the father and you have connection to the mother, right?
Yes.
So we have one connection to Prakriti and one connection to Ishvara.
Ishvara.
But they all become weak and broken. Especially the one with father, with Ishvara, is broken. With the mother, it is weak. Because the mother is the one who is satisfying all the materialistic desires. And only when the mother's influence quietens can we connect back to Ishvara. Because it is the divine godmother, Shakti, that is providing all the materialistic desires. Because that is what we are asking. I want this, I want that, I want that person to be like this, I want this person to be like this. Everybody has to behave the way we want. All those things are being satisfied by through this connectivity to Prakriti. Okay. Any questions on this? Okay. So the first Om, we are saying, I am not this gross body. I am not this gross body. I am transcending. I want to transcend this gross body, and I always want to see myself only as a set of vibrations, as a sukshma sharira. This is the first sankalpa. First Om's sankalpa is this. You must be clear about that. Without sankalpa, doing that Om has no value. Any mantra for that matter, any mantra which has meaning, which is not just sound based, which has meaning, those must be chanted with that kind of a understanding of the meaning and with that sankalpa. Otherwise, it has no meaning. Otherwise, it has no value. And there are mantras which are only sound based, for which has no meaning, but those are only sounds. Okay. So the first Om says, I am not this gross body, but I am a set of vibrations. I am a sukshma sharira. Vibrations, set of subtle body vibrations, set of vibrations. And that vibration is what?
Chitta.
Chitta.
Chitta. And this chitta came from, it is a copy of the gray box. That's the one. And during chakra dhyana, every day, if there is any imbalance between the gray box and this blue box, those things are rectified during chakra dhyana. This also I mentioned in the class. I don't know how many of you remember this. That is why the chakra dhyana is very important. It is not only important to do the chakra dhyana, it is important to do it with a person who can look at the energies in you, who can sense the chakras in you, and chant those mantras that many times to clear out those chakras. That is why I ask many of you to attend Dr. Rajan's class, don't I? And you're all sleeping. So if the chakras are all blocked and these things are not getting cleared out, obviously those are connected to the nadis, and your understanding is going to be poor. What understanding? Understanding of what we are discussing. We are discussing Moksha Shastra. The highest knowledge is Moksha Shastra. So the next, so is this understood why we are chanting the first Om?
Yes.
And what kind of sankalpa you must have?
Yes.
Yes, everyone?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't think that I'm in a bad mood. I want you all to understand. That's why I'm bringing this up. I spent a lot of time on this Om also earlier. And everyone has forgotten because I don't say this. Do you want me to remind you? If we do that, then I won't have time to go forward with the sutras. Every time you chant Om, you must have these things as sankalpa. Whether I am there or X is there or Y is there, doesn't matter. Whether no one is there and you're doing it on your own, you must have this sankalpa. So now you also understand why it is necessary to do the chakra dhyana every day. And by a person who can sense the energies, chakras, how they are of the other person. It is a kind of a siddhi that some people have. And Dr. Rajan is one such person who can sense that and then chant mantras accordingly. The number of repetitions is based on that. Sometimes he will repeat it only 2 times. Sometimes he'll do it 10 times because on that day it is not that very clean. So how you clean your clothes? Sometimes with one scrub, the dirt in the collar goes away. Sometimes you have to scrub it 10 times and also put a spray. It is like that. Okay. The first Om is saying that I am not this gross body. That is why when something gross is there, the pitch is at a very high pitch. Grosser it is, the pitch is higher. That is why we say the Om at a high pitch. The subtler it gets, the pitch need not be that high. It can drop. That is why the next Om, we don't say that we drop the pitch of saying Om. In the next Om, we are saying, since I am not this body, I am giving up, I'm moving away from all my material connections,
Attachments.
all my attachments to
Attachments.
material things.
But
Material things includes relationships also. Everything in this world. And it cannot be in just words alone. It has to be in practice. So that is why during Om, we are making that sankalpa. Please help me to get away from
all the attachments.
all these attachments. For those who do not want this, you don't have to have that sankalpa. Who love to have those kinds of attachments, you don't have this because it is against your swadharma. Only for those who want it, it will happen. And only those have to take that sankalpa. Is this clear so far?
Yes, yes, yes. Yes.
The third Om. So, first Om is we chant at a high pitch because it is reflecting, pointing to the gross body. We want to move away from the gross body. So it is a very high pitch because it is the gross body. The next is we want to have detachments and sense of detachment from all materialistic things. So it is slightly at a higher level. So it is at a slightly lower pitch, the second Om. And the third Om is to merge with Ishvara. Merging with Ishvara is the highest. So it is the most subtle thing, right? That is why it is the Om is chanted at a much lower pitch. Subtler it is, the lower the pitch. They are inversely proportional. Like Boyle's law. Pressure is inversely proportional to volume. Like that. So, as you can see, from the gross body, you have moved to the subtle body, and then you're saying, I'm getting rid of all attachments, and then you're saying, I want to merge with Ishvara. So the second layer says, I am getting rid of all materialistic attachments. If you are not willing to do and get rid of the materialistic attachments, how can you merge with Ishvara? Can you?
No.
Hmm?
No, no,
No.
definitely not.
So if you're not willing to get rid of your attachments, if you're not willing to have the, when I say get rid of, sense of detachment, if you cannot have that sense of detachment and you're fully engrossed and fully immersed in this gratification of attachments, and that is where you will stay. You will stay with the gross body. You cannot move up because you don't want to move up. Nobody is preventing you. You don't want to move up because you feel very happy being there. That is fine. But don't be under the impression when you are in that state, you can immediately merge with the divine. That is why we got cut off at the age of 6 or 7. Because we developed this attachment to all the materialistic things. Slowly we were developing that. And when it got to a threshold, it was cut off. And now we are desperately, I'm using this word desperately. We are trying to get back that connections. To get back that connection, we also have to do our homework. You cannot keep everything, all your hands in everything and still say, Ishwara, I want you. It's not going to happen. I'm bringing you bad news, but you have to understand this. You understand, Madhavi? Everyone has understood this?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Madhavi, did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I muted it when you first time asked. By the time I on it and said, maybe I didn't. I don't think you got it. You heard.
So, so understand where you are in life and what you want. And based on that, those sankalpas must be truthful to what you are doing. If you are fully enjoying the attachments of this world and you're fully happy with that, fully immersed in that, then this connectivity to the divine is kind of foreign. Because you have to do all these things. Without doing all this, that is not going to happen. So please understand and do according. Is this clear? The 3 ohms and how it reflects to this diagram?
Yes.
Okay. Silence is acceptance, so I'll move on. I have given a big sermon this morning. So let's move on to this. Bring the other one. Hold on 1 second, I'm getting the page ready. Okay. So we'll quickly run through whatever you have covered so far. So we said dharana. We started with dharana. This is antaranga yoga because in chapter 2 we covered the first 5. Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, right? So now we are saying Dharana, we already know Dharana. It's not that we don't know Dharana. We know Dharana. What is Dharana? Dharana is that single pointed focus is Dharana. Binding the Chitta in one place. Binding the Chitta in one place is Dharana. Right? So we also understood, because this comes after Pratyahara. Pratyahara is already withdrawal of the, not just the external withdrawal of the senses, not just closing the ears and shutting off the, closing the eyes and shutting off the ears and closing the mouth, all that, but it is being able to feel the vibrations inside, correct? Which means Dharana is, in first chapter we saw Samapati, Savitarka Samapati, Nirvitarka Samapati, all that we saw. So if you see in this chapter, so Patanjali Muni is not bringing any of those things here. Right? He's not bringing any of those things here, Samapati and all that. So he has only, later on he has only mentioned Samadhi. A couple of sutras down, he mentions Samadhi, and earlier also he has mentioned, in the end of chapter 2, he has mentioned Samadhi. Anyway, so what we are talking about here is, to get to the state of Samadhi, we said it is something similar to Nirvitarka Samapati, but on a subtle matter, right? I don't know how many of you remember. Sabija Samadhi, that's what we said, Sabija Samadhi. On a subtle matter. So Dharana is also focusing on a subtle matter. Not just focusing on anything external, but focusing on a subtle matter. So it could be like a mantra. And a mantra, a personal mantra or something like that. Or some question on things that are not seen, those kinds of things. So that single pointed focus which brings the chitta to one place is dharana. Tatra pratyaya ekatanata dhyanam. Tatra pratyaya ekatanata dhyanam. So there with the pratyaya means with conviction, with belief, with strong understanding. When there is a sense of complete oneness, complete focus, full focus, is what is calling us dhyana. So in other words, what he's saying is, in dhyana, in dharana, the mind is involved. We are trying to quieten the mind. We are trying to quieten the chitta, right? We are trying to quieten it. We are trying to quieten it by focusing on the mantra. In dhyana, the mind has taken a vacation. That means chitta has fallen silent. The third stage is samadhi. So here he says, if what happens? Some experience comes to you, where because you are fully now the seer and the seen, everything has merged into one. So this is the state of samadhi, where some intuitive knowledge might come to you, some understanding might come to you, whatever. That is the state of samadhi. Let's move on. Trayam ekatra samyamaha. So the three put together, it's called samyama. The process of dharana, dhyana, samadhi is called samyama. Where in dharana you start with the seed. It could be a mantra, it could be something, some question that you have. In dhyana, you let go. Meaning, in dhyana, the mind has quietened down, it has taken a vacation, and you let go. In samadhi, the answer to the question comes back, the experience comes back, the realization comes back, whatever. Or it could be just peace, shanti. That could be samadhi state too. So that is what is calling us samyama, the 3-step process. Trayam, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. Tajayat, prajna, alokaha. So when you are in that state, when you are in that samadhi state, you will get prajna. Prajna is that intuitive knowledge coming from that what we call as the light of knowledge. The light or emanation of intuitive knowledge. Intuitive knowledge is the light. So normally when we don't have when we have avidya, it means darkness is there. When the Atma Vidya starts coming, that means the light is coming in, brightness, which means that avidya is slowly going away. That is that prajna, intuitive knowledge is coming in. Tasya bhumishu viniyoga. So we'll see what that is. So here he says, when you have placed a question, the answer, the experience is only in that area. If I place a question in the area of chemistry, I will get an answer in the area of chemistry and not in physics. So that's what it means. So the experience will be relative to that sphere in which you are posing a question. Trayam antarangam purvebhyah. So the 3, what 3? Dharana, dhyana, samadhi. These 3 are internal compared to purvebhyah, compared to the previous thing. What is previous? The previous
Yama,
5. Yes. Yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara. So that is why those 5 are called Bahiranga Yoga, and these 3 are called Antaranga Yoga. Tat api Bahirangam nirbijasya. Even here, these 3 are still external to Nirbija Samadhi. With respect to Nirbija Samadhi, these 3 are still external. They are not Nirbija. That means he's saying Nirbija Samadhi is the highest. What is Nirbija Samadhi? What is Sabija Samadhi?
In Nirbija Samadhi, there is no seed.
There is no seed. What does that mean?
There is no mantra in it, no form, nothing. There is no form, no mantra.
The connectivity is always there.
Yes. The divine connectivity is always,
It's always there.
Permanently there. You don't have to turn on the switch, do anything to get that connectivity. It is all the time there. So now tell me, Meena, what does Dr. Rajan do? Nirbija Samadhi or Sabija Samadhi?
Nirbija Samadhi.
Any other answer? Anybody else?
He is always connected. Just in a second, he will get connected.
Nirbija Samadhi, sir. Nirbija Samadhi, always connected to UD.
Akka, you tell me.
Yes, he is connected always. He does samyama process. Dharana dhyana.
You're telling both. Samyama process, Sabija Samadhi. Nirbija Samadhi means always connected.
Yes, sorry. He is in Nirbija Samadhi. Nirbija Samadhi.
No, he is not in Nirbija Samadhi. He is in Sabija Samadhi. Because when you ask a question, he's speaking to you. When you ask a question, he goes in, he places the question and he gets you an answer. You understand?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So he is Sabija Samadhi. So Sabija Samadhi means on demand, he can connect to the divine. It's like going and sitting in the car, cranking the car, and the car starts. What is Nirbija Samadhi compared with this car example?
Automatic.
Always connected to the
Okay.
God is Nirvija Samadhi, and whenever we want to connect
No, with
it
respect to the car example that I gave, tell me.
car
said
example.
You need not
Sabija
Nirbija
Sabija
So
Samadhi.
whenever you want to start, you will start. If you don't want to, you don't need to. When you
That
put
is
the
Sabija
key,
Samadhi. That is Sabija Samadhi.
Hmm.
Please understand, please listen and very clearly digest what I'm saying.
Mhm.
I said Sabija Samadhi is getting into the car, cranking, and immediately the car starts and you drive. That is
Mhm.
Sabija Samadhi. Whenever you want, on demand, the car moves.
Hmm.
What is Nirbija Samadhi?
Always car running.
Always car is running, you're in the car.
Mhm.
And the car is taking you to different places. It is like the driverless car.
Driverless car.
Tesla.
And the car knows where you should go.
Hmm.
Or you will be driven to places where you should go. And you must not take this physically. I'm saying internally.
Hmm.
Don't think immediately that person will be taken to each state or each different cities. I'm not saying that. Internally, whatever needs to be, whatever has to happen to you, all those things will happen. Is this clear?
Yes.
Dr. Rajan connects to the divine on demand. Please understand this clearly.
Hmm.
On demand. He can connect to the divine 1000 times a day on demand. Whenever he wants, he can connect.
Hmm.
But if he is connected all the time, can he do his work?
No.
There are so many materialistic things that he has to do, right? He has to call and speak to Madhavi. He has to answer questions of Madhavi. He has to go and wash his clothes. He has to cook. For all those things, there are some physical efforts that are involved, correct?
Mhm.
So he will move away from the state of samadhi, do all these things, and when needed, he will, on demand, he will be back in the state of samadhi. Please understand this well. Next time when I ask this question, think. So the nirbija samadhi is what? Is external to the dharana dhyana samadhi, because nirbija samadhi are always connected.
Hmm.
That means it is the highest state of
Highly
samadhi.
purified state.
Okay, let's move on. Almost time to close today. So when we try to, so Sutra 3.9 to maybe 3-4 sutras down the line, it is saying how you can get into the state of dhyana. So here in 3.9 he says, when you try to get into the state of dhyana, there are so many thoughts that are going to come to prevent you from doing that. Pradurbhava. So those have to be closed down. So that is why it is essential. We spoke about all this, that when we start dhyana, the dharana dhyana process, that you sit in the same place, approximately around the same time you do this dhyana process. So the body understands, the gross body understands, as well as the mind, the chitta also understand that you are getting ready to dhyana, and it will not bother you that much. It will not tell you have to go and cook. It will not tell you have to go and fold the clothes. It will not tell you have to go, oh, there's a pile of clothes to be washed. Oh, you have not put the soap. It will not ask you to run to the washing machine. It is understanding that now it has to quieten down. So, in this state, as you sit and you start, all these various thoughts are going to be controlled by a new samskara that you have formed with this mantra or whatever. It's a new program that you have formed, which is quietening down all these things. When you try to quieten down all these things, all these fellows don't quieten down that easily. Some leak is happening here and there. That is what we are calling as pradurbhava. Some leak is happening here and there. And even that has to be closed down and remain connected to the chitta all the time. That's what that sutra is saying. So let's read that. So when the arising thoughts and disturbances, that's what is happening in the chitta all the time. So restraining sanskaras are also restrained. So you created a new sanskara to quieten down all that. And in doing that, here and there are some leaks are happening, some thoughts and things like that are happening. When even that is controlled, and association with the chitta is all the time there, the result is the total restraint comes, and slowly you're moved into dhyana. That's what it says. You're slowly moved into dhyana. So when you move into that, there is that new sanskaras, because of new sanskara, a deep peace has come into you. So the deep peace is the carrier of the deep peace is that new sanskara that has formed. Okay. Meena is yawning. Boring, Meena?
No, no, no. Not boring. Sorry.
Too much. Too much for the day. Um, so the chitta is rising and it is falling, rising and falling, rising and falling. That is how the chitta is acting. Right? It is creating something and then it falls on. It is creating something, it is looking at something. So that's what he says. Kshaya Udaya. So Kshaya is waning. Udaya is waxing.
Waxing.
Udayam,
Udayam.
rising, right? So waxing and waning. And that waxing and waning is taking place slowly. And that waxing and waning as it slowly dies down, that's what he says as dhyana. I mean, he's reiterating some of the things again for us to understand. And then he says, in that state, when that rising and falling are identical, It is like putting the laptop on. I mentioned this last time. Putting in hibernation. Think of animals going into hibernation. The bears go into hibernation in winter. What does that mean? Do you know what it means? Anyone?
They become the
They
mind.
can't-
Huh?
They can't move around
Oh.
anywhere, so they stop all the food and everything for few months.
No, what do they
They
do?
don't
What
know.
happens?
In winter, they won't get food, so they sleep.
Hmm.
And to sustain their body, they prepare it during the summer, like they eat a lot, and then they just sleep. That's it. No activity at all.
No, hibernation is just not going to sleep alone.
They will
Yeah.
collect the food and everything.
Hmm?
They collect some food and save it in this hole, like burrows kind of things.
No, those
And
are some of the things, but mostly these bears and things like that, they don't collect food. They eat
Mm.
and
Mm.
then they go into hibernation. Hibernation is different from sleeping.
Mm.
It's not sleeping alone.
Mm.
The mind becomes still.
And
They
they connect
keep
to the divine.
quiet. Yes.
No, you have to think.
Think.
A bear goes
That
into
goes-
hibernation for 3 to 4 months, let us say.
Mm.
So the 3 to 4 months, it must have energy to sustain, correct?
Mhm.
When you are awake, let us say, even I am sitting, but I am awake, let us say. Am I not spending energy?
You're spending energy,
Not much.
but when you walk, you will spend more energy. When you're sitting, you spend less energy.
Yeah, but that is not alone enough.
Yeah.
So when you're not eating anything for 3 to 4 months, it is necessary that many of the bodily functions have to slow down. Many of the bodily functions have to slow down. That is how you control the metabolic process. And that is why the breath, if you see, it won't be very fast, it will be very, very slow. That is what is hibernation. Hibernation is the state where the breath becomes very slow. So this control of breath, so some of these animals which go into hibernation happens on its own for them. Whereas a yogi, he can do it on his, he can do it on demand. With me?
Yes.
So in that state, when they are when the breath has become very slow, the energy that is needed to keep the body alive is very less. It's very, very less. So the same thing happens when you put your laptop on hibernate mode. The energy, because it's still there is some energy that is flowing to keep everything active. Because the moment you open the laptop, everything comes back to life, correct?
Mhm.
Hello?
Yes,
People,
yes.
you don't have to reboot your laptop. It just comes back.
Immediate.
I don't know how many of you have used this. I'm assuming everybody has used this hibernate option.
Mhm.
Yes, yes.
So there is, if you are an electrical engineer and you connect a meter, it's called amp meter. If you to measure the current, you will see it is drawing very little current, as opposed to when the laptop is fully active. That means it is drawing less energy when it is in the hibernate mode. You can see that if you connect amp meter, you can see that. So that's what we want. In hibernate mode, we don't want too much of energy to be wasted, correct? So, but there is still a little bit of activity it is doing, very little activity. A little bit of rising, a little bit of falling it is doing. That rising and falling is almost identical. So in the samadhi state, that is what is happening. The chitta, we cannot get rid of the chitta, correct? We need that, we have, until we die, we cannot get rid of the chitta. So that waning and waxing is very small, very, very small. And they are almost identical. That is the state of the samadhi. And then we saw in the state of samadhi is that when you are getting all these experiences, and that is why we need asmita, all that we saw. And that is how we came to this. Any experience will have this dharma lakshana avastha, right? Dharma is the characteristics or properties. We took a clay pot, we saw all that last week. I'm not going into it again. You please go and read these things. Dharma lakshana avastha, we saw these three things. Dharma, that is characteristics. Lakshana, that is indicators or external attributes. And avastha is the current state in which it is. All these three will be revealed. And when it is being revealed, the way in the samadhi state that intuitive awareness comes, it is so beautiful. It is because it is coming from that deep peace from within. Avyapadeshya, it says. Avyapadeshya means indescribable, without clear description. It is so beautiful. It comes, and the experience is so dharmic. The person who is undergoing that will only follow that dharma. Whatever the experience he has come, he will directly do what comes from that experience. That is why he is called a dharmi. With me, people?
Yes,
A dharmi,
yes.
a dharmi is a person who does
Follows.
things based on the samyama process, what experience he has received. And if he has done the samyama process for the sake of somebody else, he will tell them the true picture. If the other person is going to, his illness is not going to go away and he is going to pass away, then he will not tell him, oh, you will live for 5,000 years. I mean, I'm sorry. He will not tell him you will live for another 50 years. He may not tell him that he will die in 5 days also. He will just tell him, yeah, just take care of yourself. Let the divine flow through you. Let the divine grace flow through you. Please do all your yama and niyama. And pray to the divine. All that he will tell him. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it's already a few minutes. So, okay, I'm going to finish with 3:15 and we'll start with 3:16 next week. Krama anyatvam parinama anyatve hetuhu. Hetuhu is, hetuhu we have seen many times. The cause or karana. cause of something. So when krama means turn or sequence. In the Sanskrit class, they will ask, Kaha kramaha? Whose turn is it now to answer the question? Kaha kramaha? They will ask. So krama means sequence. Whose turn or whose sequence? So sequence. Anyatvam, being different. Anyatvam, anya means different. Anyatvam is being different. Parinama, we know, result or change. Anyatva is again different. So he says the cause of different results when samadhi is being done on the same thing by different people, the cause of different results is different sequences. Different sequences might come, and based on the question that we pose, different sequences, the answers may come in different sequence. That's what he says. So on that, we'll stop here and we'll go next week to starting from Sutra 316. Okay. Any questions?
No questions from my side, sir, but you are teaching it excellent, but I have to read more and understand and implement more. That is my opinion about your teachings. It is drawback from my side. I have to read more.
It's not just reading more.
Mm.
It is applying it to yourself, digesting it. All these things have to be done on a daily basis. You must keep 1 hour for this every day. Undisturbed 1 hour. And if you cannot do that 1 hour at this age, you will never be able to do it. 24 hours, let us say you sleep for 8 hours, 16 hours. Out of the 16 hours, 1 hour you have to dedicate to this if you are serious about Moksha Shastra. You are serious about raising your family, so you spent all your time there, which is fine. If you're serious about Moksha Shastra, I'm not even saying you spend all 16 hours on this. Nobody is saying that because we know it cannot be done. Unless you run away to a mountain and hibernate. Sit in a cave and hibernate probably. So slowly it has to increase the involvement. When will that involvement increase? Only when you find it tasty. When will you find it tasty? Only when you eat, paying attention to what you're eating. If you're watching TV and eating something, how will you know the taste? And that's what you're all doing now. You come here for 1 hour and after that, everything is closed and put away. And then you wake up the next week. Or 1 week, everything goes into hibernation. And then everything appears new next week. Is it making sense what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So Madhavi will say, sir, you can do it, I cannot do it.
No, I won't say like that, but with practice, I can reach you, sir. Reading the sutras and understanding and implementing.
No. That is
Not
fine.
within 1
Normally
year,
people will say, you have the time, you can do it. I don't have the time. We have to make the time. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Mm.
We make so many phone calls. The
Mm.
same thing you will discuss every day.
Mm.
With children, grandchildren, we discuss the same thing every day. So those are all the attachments that one has.
Mm.
Understand that. If that is the what is giving you pleasure, that is where you can be.
Mm.
This is true for everybody.
Mm.
Whoever wants this moksha shastra in its highest form, then they must have the taste for it. Then they must want it desperately. How desperately you want to go and hug your grandchild, that desperation you must have with Ishvara. And he's a very reluctant grandchild. He won't come running that easily also. You have to woo him for years before finally he will say, okay, this person really needs me, really wants me. Okay. Any other question? Anyone else? Okay. Namaste, everyone. I'll see you next week. Same time.
Thank you, sir.
Namaste. Namaste.
So we have a
Thank you, Kumar.
tutorial. We have tutorial
you.
this week, I think. Correct?
Yes.
So tutorial, we will
Fine.
start for Easterns, for you people in USA, we will start 1 hour early because already people in India come at 6 o'clock. It is 6 a.m. for them. And I cannot ask them to come at 7 because for many of them, no, they come in the morning. Yeah. So I cannot ask them to come 1 hour late because they have other things to do in the morning. They have to go, get ready to go to work.
So for us at 7:30.
7:30 we will start.
Okay. Okay, sir.
7:30 to 8:30. Namaste, everyone.
Namaste, sir.
Namaste. Namaste, Kumar.
Thank
You all
you.
have,
Thank you.
yeah, you all have to leave first before I shut off.
Okay.
Brahmanyan ji, you have to leave. Subramanian. Subramanian. Subramanian, please leave. You are still locked on. Subramanian. Madhavi, can you ask Subramanian to log off?
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Okay.